All right, guys, out there in Hollow Point land, it's been raining for 3-4 days. Today's the first day with no rain, but unfortunately we got that hurricane business blowing in, so it's really gusty. So we're at about 50 yards. I'm going to try to chronograph and do a bunch of other stuff today while we're out, hopefully before the hurricane rains work its way from Florida up here to northwest Indiana. So as usual, I blame Camilla Harris and the Democrats for this, because they're always doing something to ruin it for us guys that like to shoot. So I can proudly say that if you voted for the B-Dog, don't buy my stuff. You're not going to be happy. So we're going to try an assortment of slugs here and have some coffee and continue. Now, customer pointed out that in the manual on these, on the 45s, that the fill pressure can go up to 4,500 or 300 bar. I was doing 3,600 previous because I assumed that, the 357 and the 30, for some reason I thought I read it was 36, and I don't want to be getting valve locked, and since this isn't my rifle, I don't want to mess things up. But I've just confirmed with Terry, we checked with the Western website, and contact the information from the people of Western, and yeah, maximum fill pressure is 4,500 PSI. So we're going to increase that a little bit. We're going to take some notes. Just playing around in the house, I noticed at the higher fill pressure, I'm getting a tighter group, less of a spread. Still powerful, but the groups are slightly tighter. So starting at 4,500, ending at somewhere around 2,900. So we'll get started here. I'm going to start off with some real lightweight stuff just to see, because this is part of the accuracy video, and I am going to be shooting bullets that I did not shoot in the first video, because that's part of trying to figure things out. The wind is blowing really hard. It's probably not the best day to be doing this, but what can I say? So the other thing is I'm going with a slightly smaller bore diameter. I'm doing about 4.54 at the moment, because I noticed that, and I think I mentioned that in an earlier video, the 4.56, 4.57s, the speed is slowing down, and I don't want to lead the barrel up, okay? Again, people have a tendency to shoot 300, 400, 500 bullets out of this, and then it's like, hey, my accuracy's off. So it's because you didn't clean the lead. You're just packing the lands and grooves. So, as always, 50 bullets, scrub your barrel, safety first, so that's what we're going to start with. So now we're going to put some air in it. And as you can see, I've got my 2 tanks running through the booster pump, and it's going to be a little bit safe. Lift up the release, push up the cover. Now, these shorter bullets, I am using my pen to kind of push them down to seat them. With the bigger ones, or longer ones I should say, it's not really a necessary thing. I don't even know if this is necessary, but I'm trying to keep some type of standard. You do the same thing, that way it's easier to diagnose if you have an issue. Again, this is going to be somewhat of a boring video. I'll be stopping and going. I'm not going to videotape all the shots. I'll come up and we'll do a conclusion on that. Okay, coming back, making sure everything's locked down. Locked Okay. Fire. Semi. Here. Let's see if the chronograph will feed properly. Got that. So I can see it through the chronograph. All right, so it's 12 shots. The 4500, the first shot was 896, almost 900, and then the rest of the shots were all in the low 900s. 912, 913, 905, all the way down. Shot number 12, 902, ending at about 2900 psi. So this 215 is a big mouth. It's a big mouth hollow point. I had the gun sighted in for the 282, so I'm shooting a little high, and I'm very happy with the grouping. It's a little bigger than normal, but with the bigger mouth, the bigger cavity, it's going to catch more wind. But all the shots are in the kill zone. So, all right, let's deal with that, and we'll sight it up with the next one. All right, guys, so I didn't bring a Sharpie. I gotta go get a Sharpie. So, like I said, we were sighted in with the 282, and this is a 215 wide mouth. So this is a tight little group right here, you know, at 55-ish yards. So I'm very happy with that. That bullet will peel open and do some massive damage in the side of a deer. Now, of course, I've got the dinger behind here just to make sure we can hear it each time we hit it. So it's not, you know, it's that way we know we're not hitting a, you know, a dry spot. So yeah, looking good. Okay, so this is the 216. This is one of my 457 slugs that I sized down. Really nice group, But shot number 11, we had a flyer for whatever reason, way out here. But 1 through 10 and 12, very nice, tight group there. And again, the wind's got to be doing 30 miles an hour. So I'm kind of waiting until it calms down, then do a quick numbers, and then, so again, I'm very pleased with what's this doing right now, considering what's going on. Different bullet shapes, different diameter cavities for different types of, what you're looking to do. I try to create something for everybody, because not everybody shoots and hunts the same way. Again, almost all in the low 900s. Very nice. Okay guys, so this is another 457 bullet that I sized down, the 250 wide mouth boat tail. And other than the second high shot here, it gave us a very nice, again, nice little group for 12 shots. Mid 800s across the board. So far, we haven't got a lemon so far. Now we're going to keep going up in weight. So we've done 3 weights so far, and all of it actually holding, 2.5, 3-inch group here with these winds. I'm very happy. Okay. So now we're going to move up. We've done the 215, 216, 250. Now we're doing the 260. Several of the bullets that I'm working with are my 457 slugs, but we've sized them down to fit. And then the question is do I want to cut some fresh molds, or will these work as is? This is why a lot of times in my testing, I'm trying different weights to see what's going to work and what's not. I'm getting tired of spending $7,800 every time we cut another design. You amateur wannabes, all you do is copy my stuff. You don't do any of your own homework. What can I say? So I'm just using the ballpoint pen to push the bullets forward. They're not, you don't feel them like click or seat. I'm just using them to make sure they're in the same position all the way across. Some bullets do good when you size them down further, some do not, and that's part of all this additional testing, You guys don't comprehend that. So let's do some shooting. give or take about 6 feet a second slower than the 250, the 260. Almost the same ridge design, just smaller in the front and no boat tail. Okay. Looking good. A couple of flyers. We'll go check it out. Alright guys, so this is the 260, again, another 457 slug that I sized down. Little opened up a little bit here, had a flyer there, different shape, a little slight heavier weight, still holding a nice kill group. I've got several that are constantly touching each other. So, again, another quality slug to do terminal damage. Woo's that wind blowing? Now you guys can see me from this side. 275. Low to mid 800s. 830s, 815s, 824s. Very nice. Very good group at 275. Let's go down, take a look-see. All is good. But look at that. Ted Nugent. Well, again, 275 grain. Not bad, not bad at all. Much more tighter, but again, like I said, the scope was sighted in with the 282s. So that's why we're getting tighter and not higher. Again, an excellent bullet. The 275 is a true 4.54. So we're dead on. I'm liking that. 282's really looking good. Most of it's right there. There's a few high and one low. I am getting tighter and happier with these heavier weights. Very good. Love the 282. $325. Woo! High 700, 799, 784. Sweet. Now that's a 325. That's tight with one flyer right there, 12 shots. All in the low, the high 700s, low 800s. Not bad, not bad at all. That's probably going to be my first or second favorite slug out of this. Now we're testing a slug I haven't shot in years. This is going to be the 330K, a 452-ish bullet. That's not a bullet that I like. It's got a deep cavity, but it's giving me a huge spread. And this is why I test these. It's a 330 wide mouth. It is not, I mean, this would have killed something, but it's not the tight accuracy I'm looking for. You know, that's just too, that's not what I call a successful bullet. At 25, 30 yards, it'll be tighter and more accurate, but out here at 50-ish, that's not for me a winning bullet. Okay, so, you know, again, different strokes, different guns, different way they group. There's a very good bullet with the Ranger 45, but not with this setup. So that's why I do this, guys. So as always, guys are like, hey, what's your setup? What's going on here? So, you know, I have my lead sled. I have holes drilled in the table so the two front feet drop down and lock down. I got a second table. I'm shooting the Rattler lent to me by Paul. Oh, look at that. Is that a Ted Nugent autograph? I do think it is. But what even goes better is, look at that. There's some Ted Nugent autograph coffee. Thank you, Uncle Ted. And then we've got the booster pump. I got 2 tanks of air funneling through, going through the booster. There's my gauge. When I cycle it, it pushes the air, you know, pushes it up into the rifle. So that way I can be shooting all day long. But yeah, this is a little setup. This is what we're doing, trying to keep the tables, everything level. And there's the target way the heck back there. So this is our today's, how we're doing. Didn't bring the tent out because there was no sun today. Now I think it's time to break for a sandwich. Okay. So I got my Ted Nugent coffee cup. We're aired up. We're gonna do some bigger bullets. We're gonna do the 333s. Now that's my rib bullet, for her pleasure. And I've sized it down, so I don't quite know how well she's going to work in this. I know that it's one of David Potter's, Michigan air gunner. He loves that 333 in his bushbuck. So we'll see how this likes it. Sometimes when you size something down too far, you even though it may look good, but in the teeny tiny recesses of everything, it may not be 100% the way it needs to be and fly well. So that's why I always say, just because I can shoot it in the basement doesn't mean it's going to be accurate. Okay. And that 333 just fits. I'm going to put this here so I can get my arm up here. Accuracy means more than anything else. I always forget to do that. like the 330. It's in the killing zone, but it's not the group I'm looking for. So there's the 333. Now this was a 457 slug, which is very good out of the Texas. But sizing it down, it must have deformed it, or it just doesn't like it, because, you know, it's just all over the place. So again, that's a good test, because that's a bull that I won't recommend. That's part of the testing, gentlemen. So I am very impressed with the 350. Very good. Considering that's a 457 bullet that I'm sizing down. So it does, you know, flatten out the groove. But this one worked. This one worked very well. Yeah, I would recommend this slug. Now, what I probably will do is I'll probably cut a mold in this design for the 454. That way I'm not having to do twice as much work with the sizing. So I think we've tested the majority of slugs. We've got a lot more real lightweight ones that I didn't test, but you know, that'll be another time. Let's see if we can do a little rapid fire here. I'm going to use the 214s, the wide mouth. Oh, is the wind getting harder and harder? The sun's struggling to come out, but hopefully I'm not getting roasted out here. Okay. Let's see. Well, the target fell over from the bullets recoiling off the steel plate, but I was able to finish with the steel plate. No. Well, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 before it flopped back over. 6. Okay. Well, I did get one bullseye before it knocked it over. I think we're done playing, gentlemen. Okay, so this is what I'm going to attempt to start with for our outdoor accuracy testing. Now, you guys know that a lot of times I don't have the right weights that I want to work with, so I'll alter something just to get a thumbnail idea of what's happening. And then from there, I'll go into figuring out what's best, you know, and if I want to do it, I'll do production. So just because I'm testing stuff doesn't mean that's going to be actually available. So just bear with me, and as we go through this stuff, I'll figure out what I think is best and what is most accurate, because that's really all that matters, is accuracy. Okay guys, so I got to thank Terry Fox, because if it wasn't for Terry Fox, I wouldn't be able to do the videos that I do for you guys. You know, it's just he's got a heart as big as can be, and I know he puts himself in a bind periodically getting stuff out to me, and I really do appreciate it. But it allows me to be able to make sure that I'm testing and getting you the best slugs that I can make. So, you know, again, a real big shout out to Terry Fox. That's why I push so hard. You know, check him out before you go anyplace else, because he does try his best. But we all are human, and we're not going to please everybody. So now we've done some outdoor testing, and I do have so many different bullets that, you know, I can't test them all, so I picked what I thought was going to be the best for all around. So we're at about 55 yards. The 215 were good. The 216 were good. The 250 wide mouth boat tail, I was surprised. Those actually were pretty decent. The 260s I knew would be good. And then that's what I would guess you'd call your light lineup. And then we moved up to the midweight. So we've got the 275, which have always been good out of the Western guns. The 282, which is new. That's not listed on my website yet. That's strictly pretty much for Terry at this moment. The 325s are new and not on my website yet. I wanted to be able to test these out in these Western guns, the Bush Buck and the Bush Pig, before, you know, I put them up on the site. I like to make sure that we can hold a couple of inches, you know, at 75, 80 yards before we really start doing stuff, offering it. And then the 330, I was disappointed in. The 333 size down, disappointed. But the 350 size down, I was pleasantly pleased. So out of 9 weights, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 weights. 8 were pretty good. 8 were pretty good. So I'm going to put an X mark here on these two. And by now in the video, you've already seen the little pictures that I put up of what the performance looked like. So I think that's it. Again, this is a mid-power gun, you know, basically around 500 foot-pounds and under. You know, everybody's numbers are going to change a little bit based on your chronograph. You know, outdoors in the shade, outdoors in the sun, indoors, you know, with the fluorescence or the drop down. It just gives you basic, always gets you in the neighborhood. I can put 3 chronographs in a line, and each one will read different numbers. So again, I use those more as a baseline tool, and you should also, you know. So yeah, is it a 700 foot-pound rifle? No, it's not. It's not. But it's a 500 foot-pound rifle, 450 to 500, and it's really accurate. You've got multiple shots. Now, whether or not some of the states that allow only 5 shots in the mag for, you know, rifle season, that you'll have to figure out. I don't know, but I like this. I like this as an all-around fun rifle. said, I don't know anything about swapping the suppressor or putting a different Donnie FL on the end of it. As before, I said in the videos before, if you guys got info about that, drop it in the towel section down below, the comment section, so you know, we can all learn from that. And because everybody that does videos, we all have different things in our brains. You know what we're looking for. You know, some guys it's got to be the quietest rifle in the world. Other guys it's got to be the most accurate or the most powerful or have the most Teg Nugent autographs on it. You know, everybody's different on what they look for. You know me, I'm an average Joe. Everything I can do, you should be able to duplicate and do better. So I did find out from Terry, as he was checking with Western, these are 4,500 PSI fill. And that's why I was chronographing today, because my original was 3,600 when I was testing in the house, because that's what the early guns were. So I guess maybe it's a typo in the manual, but these are 4,500 PSI fill. So I started with 4,500 on my gauge. I'm not looking at the little, you know, the little there, but I'm looking at my big gauge on the booster, and ending up with 2,900 to 3,000 after 12 shots. So, you know, it's a full sling and zing of bullets, but I was doing that with the 3,600 fill also. So I'll have those sets of numbers in, but I did more bullets on this one. So I think that's about it. I'm gonna pack it up before the cows start to fly, you know, as the bad weather moves up from down south. And I think that's about it. Of course, you know, any questions about bullets, you can contact me direct. Anything. Oh, I think I got a piece of sausage stuck there in the lining of my heart. Anything about the rifles, contact Terry Fox at Fox Air Power. He's the one-stop shop for scopes, gun, bullets. He carries all my hollow points plus a slew of others if you don't like me or, you know, my bald head. So I'm not going to please everybody. I think that's it, gentlemen. I like this. I really like this. I would put this is good. This is my favorite mid power rifle. It's my favorite. If I needed 700 foot-pounds or 800, it'd be a different, you know, I'd be looking at something else. But 500 to 450, there's pretty much nothing in North America you can't take down. Bullet placement is key. And we learned that this past weekend shooting pigs with Ted Nugent. Bullet placement's key. You got to get behind there, quartering away. If you can hit both lungs, double lung it, you're going to bring your animal home. Is what I always say, air rifles do not leave quality blood trails. Hence the need for a quality hollow point to open up and make a much bigger internal wound channel. That's the whole ticket. Don't get me started. Don't push my buttons. I can feel the veins starting to throb right now. So, thank you for watching. Hopefully you learned something. I'm gonna take me an hour to load all this back in the car and get home and start unloading. And that's it. Thanks, guys. Hoo-yah!